Good afternoon. What's poppin', y'all? My tribe, welcome to another episode of Dan the Man Talks Real Estate. I am your host, Dan the Man, real estate broker, associate, agent, but really more of a broker associate with eXp Realty, Elite Builders. We are the Elite Builders. And who are the Elite Builders, you might ask? A tribe, a team of agents and brokers across the country who really prioritize excellence, character, integrity, mastery of skills, service to our clients, and I think most importantly, sharing our knowledge with others, which will create other leaders, which in turn creates health, wealth, happiness, and just an overall sense of accomplishment across the country, again, with all these people that we're going to be affecting and talking to. So really, to be an elite builder, it is a lifestyle, a growth mindset, always trying to push and move forward. Couple characteristics of us: we love to create leaders, agents who inspire others to really be the best versions of themselves that they can be, so they can serve and inspire others to be the best that they can be. And then what happens is that cycle and that circle just continues to run and run and run. So that is again some characteristics of what it means to be an elite builder. And we also love, this is one of the things we love to do. We love to master the internal game. So the game that's going on inside of our heart of hearts. And what exactly does that mean when I say master the internal game? It can mean many things. We'll go over a few of them right now. One of them is to control those controllables in your life. In the trichotomy of control, we have things that we have full control over, which is inside of you. So the internal game, what time you get up, what you put in your body as far as food and knowledge, physically and mentally, emotionally, where you're housing your emotional state. Is it in a state of gratitude, or is it in a state of judgment and irritability and negativity all the time? So those are things that you can control. So usually it is everything internal. There are things you have some control over, but not all. Things like whether you can get a list, whether you get the listing or not, you can present your best foot forward, which you control, but seller may decide to go in another direction. Don't have control over that. Maybe the result of a, sports match or game, things of that nature. You don't have full control over those. So we don't spend much time on that. And then also the third part, which is things you have no control over, which are generally usually external things. The weather, what somebody says to you, your reputation, what somebody does to you, things like that. Usually are all external, and you don't have any control over those. You can control your response to them, which is what we like to call, as an elite builder, your responsibility. So it is your responsibility to react, or I should say to respond in a certain way, not react, because think about it. Reacting doesn't take any thought. It's something that you just innately do as a habit. So we like to do things in more of a response. Something happens, somebody does something to you, something occurs. It's not what occurs. The occurrence itself is static. It has no opinion. It's what you do as a result of that occurrence, which is going to basically create your responsibility. So we want to have responsibility, and that is what controlling that internal game means, and controlling the controllables. So we also work to respond to those external circumstances, not to just react to them. When somebody does something or says something to you that you don't like, we don't want an immediate reaction to happen of, and usually it's something negative when you react. We want to actually take that beat, take that moment, let it process, and then formulate your response. That takes actual thought and time. It's not something that, we can learn overnight. It takes a lot of practice with that. So, I've heard I've always heard practice makes perfect, and really it does not. Nobody's perfect. Nothing is perfect. So practice does not make perfect. What does practice make? Practice makes improvement. So if you continuously practice something, you will improve on it. And that's how you build that consistency. And we're going to talk about that today, which is mindsets and consistency and discipline to get where you need to be in your life, whether it's financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, or physically. So I will ask if being an elite builder, in your career and really in your life, just building yourself to be a better person every day, if that's something you want to experience or achieve, reach out to me. You can subscribe to this channel, reach out to me on some social media platforms that we'll go over, TikTok, Instagram. I'm at Daniel Masrobian. Or you can just, again, subscribe here and send me a message. And look, we'll get you started on it. Just reach out to us because we want to create and change and help you make that life and be that highest and best version of yourself that you can be. And then along the lines of that too, your income and your finances will follow. So we're going to talk today about mindset. And, I can only speak from my experience, and my experience was previous to this, to really understanding what it takes to be disciplined, is I didn't want to make calls every day. And I get that a lot. Dan, I don't want to make calls every day. I don't know how to get into a groove of it. I don't know how to be consistent with it. There's days I skip. I don't know what to say. I don't have confidence with when I say it. I don't want to be yelled at on the phone. I don't have the time. My day is so crazy. All of these things, if you're an agent and you've answered yes to them, any of these limiting beliefs, because that's really what they are, again, just reach out to me and we can get started on a life and a road of discipline and a positive mindset, so that these things, these questions and these limiting beliefs that you say to yourself, they're eliminated. And now you're going to have, uplifting beliefs, we'll call them, not limiting. So, and we'll give you the skills to, to really, and proximity. We'll give you the skills and the proximity to agents and brokers across the country that operate at a really high level as far as, their finances, who they are as people, their character, their integrity, their service to others. These are people that are operating at a very high level that want to share the information with you and help you get to where you need to be, because there was a time when they were not where they wanted to be and they were in despair, had these limiting beliefs. So did I. I was definitely there too. We've talked about before, me, again, as an adult, a mid-adult, saddled with just, back-breaking credit card debt over $50,000, and then moving into a room in my parents' basement, which was it was like an 8.5 by 11 room that I would crammed all my crap into and lived there for 2.5 years before I dug myself out of this hole. And how did I do that? Being in proximity to the right people, and again, at the same time, understanding and formulating a life of discipline, positive mindset, neutral thinking, and again, proximity to the people around me that helped me get to where I needed to be. So I've been there. I understand it. So really the first thing that we need to do is just recognize that there's a limiting belief that you're telling yourself, or that I was telling myself, that was preventing me from moving forward. And then you can break that down. What is a belief? Okay. Really, belief is just an idea that you've developed loyalty to, or I've developed loyalty to over time. So I'll say that again. What is a belief? An idea that we've developed loyalty to over time. And we all have them. I was just talking to, it's funny, I was just talking to some friends of mine, and I caught myself doing it. I still do this too. You tell yourself a story in your head that this is how it is. Somehow you believe it. And when you tell yourself something over and over and over again, and you actually believe it, those are the types of people that can literally beat lie detector tests. because it's a belief in every part of your body and your soul and your mind. So if you tell yourself, this is something that I can't do, I can't, imagine Roger Bannister, the guy who broke the 4-minute mile. Like, everybody before him that tried to do it couldn't do it. So humans said to themselves, it's impossible to run a sub 4-minute mile. Like, it's impossible. And Roger Bannister one day just said, I'm going to break the 4-minute mile. And he did. I forgot what he ran it in, but he broke it. And it was this huge monumental event. And then what happened after him? Like 20 or 30 people literally broke his record right after he did it. So once humans see that something can be done, then it gives them hope that it can be done. But what I'm saying is, you be that first one. You be that leader. You be that trendsetter that changes your own belief. You don't need to see somebody else do it. But if you need to, which is fine, then take an elite builder's, take our example. Take my example. Again, man, no job, saddled with debt. I had no income coming in. I owed over $50,000 in debt. I got all my stuff in this 8x13 room in my parents' dank basement, and it ain't like their house was a palace. It was a bi-level, like an 1,800 square foot bi-level. I'm in the basement in the room in there as an adult. How am I going to dig myself out of this? So this stuff works. And I can give you more examples of it, but I can only speak for, in depth of my experience. So these limiting beliefs, they're there. Like, I had them. Like, I don't have any skills. Who's going to hire me? Like, what am I going to do? Those all came. I had them. So the first thing we need to do is just realize that we have a limiting belief that's telling us a story that's not true. Right? And retraining your brain, it's like unlearning that negative belief and then relearning, yes, I can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Not why me, why not me? Not why me, why not me? Yes, you can. Why not me? You start to affirm those words in your head and in your brain, then they start to become a part of you, in your being, your mind, your body, your soul. And then that's how you change. So those positive affirmations, they do work. So again, you must first believe it. And that's really, so let's talk about that. Believing it first, and then once you believe it, you'll start to see it. And that, to me, is what faith is. What's the definition of faith? Believing in something that you can't see. So usually people say, well, and we correlate faith with religion. So we'll say, well, I believe in God, whatever your God is, or spirituality. I believe in God. Well, usually the God that people believe in, you can't see them. He's not tangibly here. Whether it's an energy source, whether it's Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, you follow the Tao, Allah, whatever you believe your God is, usually it's an intangible. You can't, it's not something that you can put your hands on. So having that faith, believing in this thing that you can't see, well, that's all faith is in your life too, is just believing in this life that you want to create that you can't see yet, but it's there and it's ready to be unlocked, and then you can go on that journey. And that's what we're here to talk about, is getting you into that mindset of faith, of yes, I can, and of why not me. We'll get into that. So, you have it in you. Like, I'll go off on a little bit of a tangent. Like, we all have it in us. You have it in you to be anything, like literally anything you want to be. Like, you have it in you to do it. So speak that truth, man. Speak it with 100% certainty. Like, fucking yes. Like, yes, I can. Like 100% certainty. Like, there's no freaking doubt that what you're saying can happen. There's no doubt. That is foundational. So at least with me, like this, talking about discipline and stuff, again, I know where I was. I'll never live that life again. But damn it, it gave me a real appreciation to the value of $1, like literally $1. Because when you have something taken away from you, because of bad choices or life itself, whatever the case is, when it's taken away, you will have a true appreciation of it once you can get it back. So that's why I think when I see old money versus new money, generally new money, when someone is, it's not coming from someone previous in generations, they make it themselves. That new money, that whoever owns that and has created that has a true appreciation of it because they created it themselves. So what's true for me is I have a true appreciation for the value of $1 because I didn't have it. I owed it to the tune of well over 50 grand. So now I understand the value of it, the value of having character, having integrity, being held to your word. When you say you're going to do something, do you do it, or is it kind of a waffle? Well, all right, yeah, I'll be there, and then the day of it, it's you just don't even go, or you call and cancel. Are you kind of a waffler that way? A dabbler. These are all qualities that were me previous to mindset, discipline, and learning integrity and those kinds of qualities. That was me. It was all me. So you have it in you to be a success, because I'll say it again, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I am the most, we all are special on this planet. So we all have something to offer this planet. Everybody out there that is listening, you have something to offer this planet. So do I. We all do. It's just a matter of, are you going to unlock that potential in you to do it? Or are you just going to kind of be this are you going to be a wandering generality, or are you going to be like this meaningful, specific, that you're intentional with what your goals and objectives are? Are you intentional with them? Does your day, every day, you're doing something intentional to get closer to those goals? We're talking about that today. Having a plan. So now that you've mentally prepared for this, that, all right, we've changed up. We're now not limiting ourselves with these beliefs. You're like, hell yeah, man. Hell yes, I can. Hell yes. No doubt. Foundational. It's there. You're building your house. Pretend it's a house. You're building bricks of a foundation of who you are going to be now as a person. What's next? A plan. You have to have a plan. So a schedule, a structured day that you follow with certainty every day. Okay? Now, what does that mean? So we'll go over my day. Now, I'll give you my previous day when I had no guidance and was just kind of meandering through life and trying to figure things out, and not in proximity to anybody that could help but show me what successful people actually do on a given day. I'll give you that. And then I'll give you my new day, which is what I do every day, with certainty. And if there is something that I can't do in the morning that I normally do, I'll make sure that I do it in the afternoon. Just as you can't. I look at yourself like bamboo. Bamboo is really strong because bamboo is somewhat flexible. It's not this this stoic, it's got to be this way. You can be a little bendable if things come up. That's why bamboo is one of the strongest trees in the world, I believe. So look at yourself like that, like a piece of bamboo, not like this stiff rod that if a swift wind comes, you're blowing that thing down. So you can bend a little bit. So this is the day that I do with certainty, and that has helped me create the life that I have. But it has taken time. This is not something that is going to be overnight. Like you do it one day and within a month you're rolling and everything is great. This takes consistency. So we'll go over that and what it takes to be consistent, because I'm aware that consistency for most, and for me this was the hardest part of changing your mindset to a place of discipline, the consistency of it. This episode is brought to you by The Elite Builders. It's brokered by eXp Realty. I've spoken a lot about Elite Builders and the value stack that you get just by partnering with us. there's tons and tons of value here. But again, aside from the financial value, which we'll get into in a minute, becoming an elite builder, really, you're going to basically change your life in every facet: physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and financially. What do I mean by that? You're going to be in proximity to people that operate on a high level, high character, high integrity. We're creators, and what do we want to create? We really want to create leaders and inspire you and others to be the best versions of yourself, highest version of yourself that you can be. And when you do that, you're now operating at a high level, and you're going to then inspire others to do their best. And then when you want to talk about it from a financial perspective, as far as if you're an agent or a broker, the value stack that you get free group coaching. All right, so let's go through them. Group coaching, it's a $3,000 value. You have role play groups that I run 2 of them, 7:30 and 11:30, where you learn scripts on what to say, how to say it, and how to say it with confidence so you can help serve your clients to the absolute highest level. That's a $1,000 value. There's an exclusive ladies mastermind group. Okay, that's a $3,000 value. Very, very high these women are operating at such a high level. They have their own exclusive mastermind. Awesome women in there. That's a $3,000 value. The scripts and the courses themselves that you get, expired, for sale by own, or just listed, just solds, pre-qualification, listing presentation, objections, all of it. You get that and the courses that are online in like 40 different languages. That's a $1,000 value. The systems training, the CRM training that you get, the systems training itself is a $2,000 value. So we train you on how to put systems in place so you're operating your business at the highest level possible. So we have that. The CRM training, which is basically your database, we teach you how to put all of your clients into a database, and then it serves you and feeds you as far as contacting them, how often, and how to serve them. So it's basically where you're housing your whole business. That's a $1,000 value. And then the events and the webinars that we have, another $1,000 value. Like, you're looking at over $10,000 in value that other agents that aren't partnered with EXP pay. And when you do partner with us, these are all free. They're literally all free. So if this is of interest to you, just reach out to me. Again, you can subscribe to the channel, Dan the Man Talks Real Estate. I'll send you more information about it, or you can reach out to me on the other platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook at Daniel Masrobian, and we'll send you all the information you need to get you started on, again, just building your life and partnering with us to be literally the best version of yourself that you can be. Okay, now we are going to go over my day. So this is going to be 2 days. Previous day, which is what I was doing before, which was a wandering generality. You get up kind of anytime, do basically what the day calls for, which was not bearing me any fruit and was very unsuccessful. Then the next day will be what I'm doing right now, a structured, disciplined day of things and activities to do that I do consistently that will bear fruit and change who you are and your life to put you in a position to succeed and succeed at a very high level. So before, I was getting up probably around 7:30, 8 o'clock, somewhere in that area. Make your breakfast, shower. Your day starts about 9:30, and then, whatever kind of comes your way, you would do. I don't know if you had any like inspections, or maybe you'd make some phone calls that day. If I didn't feel like it, maybe I wouldn't. I'd always have my ego mind tell me, you don't need to do that today. And you get in your comfort zone, which is the worst thing that you could be in, is your comfort zone of, I don't really want to make calls today, so I'm not going to make any calls. That was previously what I was doing. And then, again, maybe you'd have an appointment, a friend or somebody would help you out with something that they would need as far as, from a real estate perspective. But nothing that you were doing it's kind of, you're flying by the seat of your pants. That was my day for years. And again, I was living in fear because the fear came from not knowing if I was going to be, busy, not knowing how to get business, not knowing if business was going to come to me, because I'm basically now waiting for business to come to me. I'm not going out into the marketplace to find it. Okay. So that was my previous day. And now we're going to get into what I do today. So I get up normally, it just took me a while, but I'm now up at around 4:30, 4:45. I used to get up sometimes at 3. I used to get up sometimes at 4, and that lasted a while, probably a year. But I think my body normally fell into a nice routine of like 4:30, 4:45. I'd open my eyes. I don't use an alarm clock anymore. I used to, but you can train your body not to, which is that the habits. And I would explain to you how habits work. They basically work in 3-week cycles. You can train your body to do something in 3 weeks. It's not that hard. So yeah, up at about 4:30, 4:45, I do a priming exercise, which basically gets your mind and your body into a state of gratitude. So I do a breathing exercise where it primes your body. And then for another 3 minutes, I think of 3 things that I'm very grateful for. And then the next thing is another breathing exercise, and then another 3 minutes of 3 things that I want. It takes about 15 minutes total. And it just really gets my mind and my body and my whole being into a real great state of gratitude early in the morning. So it really sets the tone for the day. I exercise, I go to the gym, or I will Peloton. If I don't get to the Peloton in the morning, I will get to it in the afternoon. That is a definite certainty, and I hit that at probably 4 to 5 days a week, at least 4. 4 is always, I try to make 4 the minimum. Usually it's 5, sometimes it's 6. So, and then the gym is added on to that. Then I role play in the morning. I do a 7:10, a 7:30, and an 11:30. So that's 3 times a day I'm role playing. I run the 7:30 and 11:30 role play through the Elite Builders. So if that's something that you're interested in, again, reach out to me and we can get you started on that. I can send you some information on role playing. The people that role play in these groups are very serious. They are very intentional with increasing their skill level, becoming masters at what to say, how to say it with confidence so they can serve their clients at the absolute highest level that they can. And that is, again, what an Elite Builder means. So we do that. I do that from 7:10 to 7:30, 7:30 to 8 o'clock. And then I prospect from about 8:15 to about 10:30 in that area, 11 o'clock, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, depending on if you have appointments that day. And then I do some follow-up for about an hour after that. And then the appointments if you have appointments, you'll go to those during the afternoon or in the evening. If you're going to preview, maybe you want to learn some market statistics about your area, you can study some market stats. Maybe you go to an open house or 2, a broker open, to kind of see different properties and what's happening in your area. Or you can make more phone calls if your morning session, you want to just piggyback on the morning session, you can prospect for another hour or 2. It really is up to you as far as once about, I'd say, 2 to 3 o'clock, your day you can make it your day, but as long as you're doing income producing activities, prospecting, lead follow-up, going on appointments, negotiating deals, those 4 things, PLAN, okay? That's an acronym. So PLAN, prospect, lead follow-up, go on appointments, negotiate deals. PLAN is income producing activities, okay? So if you're doing those, your whole day can just be focused around them. And even if it's not structured from like 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock on, you can do one of those 4 things and do them with certainty and know that you've done a very productive day as far as income producing. Some of the income servicing activities, we'll go into income producing versus income servicing at another time, but just to give you an idea, going on inspections, putting up lock boxes, meeting an appraiser, things like that. Those are income servicing activities, and those I would highly recommend getting in an assistant or a transaction manager, having somebody do those. So that's my day, what I do now. I'm very intentional about that day. I know that, I also read too. Reading is paramount. Most to all successful leaders that are earning at a high rate and are just very high character, high integrity people and leaders, they read every day. They get up early every day. And when I started to study success and study the people that are out there that are they're at where I'm trying to go. So they've traveled the path that I'm kind of walking on now, and at the beginning of, or maybe getting towards the middle. They've already walked it and traveled it. They're already done. That's what I want to model. I want to model these people. I'm a huge fan of modeling. Huge fan. If you have somebody that is doing what you are trying to achieve, and they've already done it, and they've traveled that path, and they're on another path higher than, like, I don't even want to know anything other than, what did you do? I will never question why they're doing it. I'm just gonna do it. So it makes you like laser focused. And again, that word comes back, intentional. It makes you very intentional about the goal that you have, and pushing all the noise and all the haters and you're never going to get there. And look, they're out there, man. If you don't have haters, and you're not doing something right. There's going to be, and maybe the haters are in your head, the gremlin in your mind, which we'll talk about as far as our book review today. The book that I'm going to talk about is about that, because I read it all the time. Probably every other week. There's passages that I read out of it. So maybe that's where the haters are. It's in your own head. It's in your own mind. And I have that. So we all have that mind, that gremlin in our mind that tells us that you ain't shit, you ain't gonna do anything, you're never gonna be a success, people aren't gonna like you. Whatever your gremlin's brand of torture is to you, like I'm imagining we all have it. I know I have it, and it never shuts up. So we have exercises, and again, with the book review, we'll talk about it. But as long as you realize that that's there, it's fine that it's there. Just recognize it. And when you have that structured day, you focus on the activities, not on the results that you get that day. You may prospect for 4 hours that day and not get an appointment. It doesn't matter. You've now put more energy and time and effort in being intentional with prospecting. So maybe the next day you'll get the appointment. Maybe the following day you'll get the appointment. But it's the activity that you're doing. You're building that foundation, okay? You're building it of what to do and how to do it. It will bear fruit. You just have to give it time. It's like planting a seed in the ground. You don't plant a seed in the ground and then 10 minutes later you go and dig up the seed, like, where's the tree? Why isn't it growing? You don't do that. Let it it's like going to the gym. Same thing. I think I might have even used this example previously. It's like going to the gym. You don't go to the gym and then the next day you look in the mirror and you're like, why aren't I like all muscular and ripped? It doesn't work that way. It all takes time. So let this new way of operating and structured day and discipline, let that take its course. And in 4 weeks, you'll probably start to see a change. Just like the gym. 4 weeks, you'll see a change. 8 weeks, your family will see a change. And in 12 weeks, your friends will see a change. Prospecting and discipline and mindset is the same thing. You'll start to notice differences in 4 weeks. You'll definitely notice differences in 8 weeks. And within 3 months to 4 months, you're going to see a whole bunch of changes with your business. So give it time. It will work. This schedule came about over time. All right, I created this habit over probably a 3 to 4 week period of getting up early. And I know probably some of you are saying, like, I'll never be able to get up at 4:30, 4:45. Yes, you can. Stop giving that limiting belief to yourself. You abso-freaking-lutely can. If someone who's getting up at 7:30, 8 o'clock can now normally get up without an alarm clock at 4:30, 4:45, so can you. You just have to want it. You have to be intentional about, do I want to get up that early? If you do, here's how you do it. If you get up at, say, 7 o'clock every day, for the first week, set your alarm for 6:45. then get up at 6:45. And then the next week, you get up at 6:30. You set your alarm for 6:30. And then the next week, you set your alarm for 6:15. You get up at 6:15. And now, if you're finding it's too aggressive and you're struggling to get up that early, do it for 2 weeks. Do the 15-minute increments in 2-week time frames, okay? But I'm going to, with almost 100% certainty, say that your body's not going to notice the difference. 15 minutes is not a big deal. It's not. Your body will not notice, okay? So 6:30, then 6:15, then the next week it's 6 o'clock, okay? And then the next week it's 5:45. Now within a month, okay, within a month to a month and a half, you've gone from 7 o'clock to 5:30, 5:15. And again, you're not going to notice a difference. It's amazing how it works, but you have to be consistent with it. That's the one thing I will say. Don't do it, don't do it 6 days or 5 days a week, and then the other 2 days you sleep in. It's not going to work. You have to retrain the body first. You can sleep in once you've retrained the body over this specific time period to get up early. Because there are weekend days that I'll get up at 6 o'clock. That's like my sleep in. I'll get up that late. So, because sometimes my body just says I need a break, and I'll listen to it. But you have to retrain it first to get up that early. So now you're at 5:30, then you go 5:15, then you go 5 o'clock. Now the 5 o'clock, 4:45, 4:30 increments are when I started to need an alarm clock. But then once my body started to normally get up, like it's going to normally just wake up. It's amazing how the human body changes. It's like a chameleon. You're like a chameleon. It adjusts to the surroundings around you. The human body is an amazing thing. So this can happen. You can do it. So I don't want you to say to yourself, I can't do it. Yes, you can. I did it. So you can do it. It's not hard. It just takes consistency. And that's what we're talking about here. So once you create that habit, you will, again, that's like, celebrate that win. That is a huge win. To now, you're getting up early. You're doing what successful millionaire and billionaires do. People that are of high character and integrity, that are of just really, really high levels of health, physical health and mental health. This is what these people do. They get up early and they feed their mind and their body just mounds and mounds and massive amounts of knowledge and wisdom and experiences and growth and learning. That's just all they do. And new experiences, getting comfortable being uncomfortable. This is what they do. And you can do it too, to be a leader. We're going to create you as a leader. We're going to make you a leader. And then listen, as this happens and you start to change, the people around you are going to start asking questions about this change that is going on inside of you. Like you seem different. What's going on with you? They're going to ask it. So, again, habits formed in like a 3 to 4 week period. You'll recreate your life. You're going to recreate your health. You're going to recreate your wealth, recreate happiness. It's all going to start to manifest because now you're making healthy, positive, intentional changes to your life, all wrapped around changing how you're going to be as far as prospecting and getting into a consistent groove of prospecting and those kinds of things as far as, building your business. So to create this new habit around the structured day, getting up early is one thing. Now you're going to structure your day. What I would suggest is writing out at the beginning of each week what your week is going to look like. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So my planner, I am, hang on, I'm going to grab it. So I'm old school. I still need a new planner. So see that 2023 planner? Many people use their phones and they put in their Google Calendar and stuff. I do use it to an extent, but I have to write down. Now this is brand new, so I'm still filling it in, but I have to write it down. So this is like my Bible. So write out each week what you have going on, and each day, getting up early, priming, reading, prospecting, role playing, eating healthy, those things are things. Write it out. I would When you write it, it makes it real and tangible. It's like setting a date or a time with someone. When you say, hey, we should get together, and they're like, yeah, we should get together, and then you don't follow up, and they don't follow up, and nothing happens. But if someone says to you, we should get together, and you reply to them, yeah, okay, hang on a minute. So what about Tuesday at 7? Are you free then? We can get together then. And they'll either say, well, let me check with you, or yeah, that works fine. That makes it real. Now you've put it in writing and set a date. That makes it real instead of the waffle and the dabbler. Yeah, just let me know and then I'll get back to you. Okay, yeah, I'll reach out to you, and then nothing happens. Be intentional and actually set the time in the day. So writing it out is important. So, because again, now you have this new habit and you need the discipline. Discipline's really important to keep that new habit going. And, look, I'm aware that there is going to be days you don't want to do it. Believe me, this morning, I didn't sleep well last night, and I was up at like 3. And there was no way I was getting up at 3 because I was exhausted. Yesterday was a long day, and I wasn't going to get up at 3. So I shut my eyes and got up, I think it was like 5 today. So there's going to be days you don't want to get up. There's going to be days you don't want to go to the gym. Believe me, there's going to be days I don't want to do that, especially when it's 2 degrees out and I got a little, start the car, go drive out, you're in shorts, like you don't want to do it. But the comfort mind is going to tell you it's okay to skip today. Nah, it's okay. You can skip today. Nah, it's okay. You can go tomorrow. That's being in the comfort zone. Being uncomfortable means discipline. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go today. Even though my mind says I shouldn't go, I'm going to go. That's how you start. And when you do that, it's like making you know how you go to the gym and you get those calluses on your hands? This is like making a callus in your brain, like in your mind. The more you do it, the more that callus forms. And then when those days you get up and you're like, I don't want to go today. It's like, no, I'm going to go. And it's really easy to overcome that. Really easy. So that's how you push through that. And because again, the discipline is really important it's paramount to creating this new schedule and this new way of you. So, the days you don't want to eat healthy, the days you don't want to exercise, days you don't want to read, days you don't want to do follow-up, things of that nature, you're going to be able to just push through it. And, maybe you have somebody or something that's going to help you push through it, a song or, a quote or a saying. I'm big on those. I heard, what's his name? Mike Tyson once, and Mike Tyson's transformation has been remarkable from who he was to who he is. It's almost like he's lived 2 lives. But I also feel like I've almost lived 2 lives. Me previous to learning all of this information and me now. It was like on a road to nowhere, on a road to debt, on a road to negativity and jealousy and anxiety and fear, to now a road to inspiration and a road to gratitude and a road to service and a road to love and a road to freedom. All of that, when you go from one to the other, when you have everything taken away and then you have to work to get it back. Yeah, it really, it's remarkable. So Mike Tyson once said, discipline is doing what you hate, but doing it like you love it. And that just struck a chord with me because, God, I hate to do certain things in a day that I get up and I don't want to do them. And the old me would not do them, would just be so easy to not do them. It's like you snap a finger, not going to do it. And now it's like, no, like that's not how it's going to be. It's not how I'm going to live. I don't want to live easy. I want to live hard. Because when you do hard things, it makes your life easy. But when you do easy things, it makes your life hard. I heard that once. And that's another one that struck a chord with me. So I want to live hard now so I can live easier later. And discipline's going to create that. So your biggest challenge, and I would say my biggest challenge, and it's probably going to be yours too, is not somebody else and what they're doing and how they're doing and comparing yourself to them. Your biggest challenge is going to be you, your mind, yourself. You get in your own way. I got in my own way. So look, let's get started today, just on that road to discipline. So doing the things you need to do every day to get to the place that you want to be in life. So I'll leave with this. Just like imagine your life right now. I'm not even going to go 10 years. I'll even say 5, because 5 for me was real tangible progress. You know, income levels were increasing year over year. I was so much happier with who I was as a person, just me as an uncle, as a brother, as a son, as a friend, as a colleague, as a man, as a human. I just, to think of where I was to who I am now, it's like you're two different people, and I'm so grateful for it. So yes, I say, you know, a lot, and I've heard this a lot. We grossly overestimate what we can do in 1 year, but we grossly underestimate what we can do in 10. Just one short decade. And I know this to be true because a short decade ago, I was in an 8x13 room in my parents' dank basement, saddled with over $50,000 in debt, with no job and no skills. I had no skills. I wasn't getting hired. So to go from 10 years to now, and there's so much, like, I'm so excited for like where the road's going to be in the next 10. It's because I know where the previous 10 were from then to now. But I'd say, look, just imagine your life in 5 years, just 5, doing these things every day to build your business, and more importantly, to build yourself, your family, and your business. I mean, like, God, disciplined, you're consistent, and you're intentional about who you want to be and where you want to go in life. I mean, it's amazing. You know, and what parts of you you're going to leave behind. This is a huge, it's like shedding this, it's like a snake shedding its skin. Like that person that you were before, that you were unhappy with, that you just didn't know how to like get out of that and unlock the potential that you have. Like imagine who you're leaving behind. The quitter, you know, the person who things get rough at the drop of a hat, you just quit. And instead of doing what's difficult, you do what's easy, which makes your life difficult. Like imagine you shedding all that, you know? So again, like you do the hard things now so you can live easy later. And that you'll have people around you that'll support you and help you and motivate you and push you through those hard times. And if you don't have those people, like, we can be that for you. The Elite Builders, myself, my team, all of us, we can be those people for you. And you will come out 3 words: better, wiser, and stronger than you were. You will come out of this that way. And then you will compare yourself not to somebody else, but to who you were yesterday. Are you better, wiser, and stronger than you were yesterday based on the activities that you do today? Because think about it. You have a gift that over 140,000 people every day on this planet don't have, which is the gift of life. Over 140,000 people a day move on to the afterlife. You are still here. You have a gift of life. What are you going to do with it is the question of the day. And we can give you activities and things to do every day to build your business, and more importantly, build yourself, so you can serve your family, yourself, your business, and your fellow man to the highest level. You can do it, doing something you never thought that you could do that was possible. All you need is just a new disciplined mindset. It's just disciplined mindset, and you'll learn it. Nothing you will achieve with a disciplined mindset will be given to you. You are going to earn every bit of it. You put in the work, you put in the effort, you show up every day. If you want to join the role play group, you show up every day to the role play group. You're intentional with these people, these other agents that are role playing every day, that want to master their skills, and you will get the results. You have it in you. It's in your heart. It's in your body. It's in your mind. Let's just plant the seed. And let's plant the seed today and watch it grow over the next 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, 48 months, 60 months. Now you're at 5 years. Let's see. But remember, you need patience too. We don't plant that seed and then dig it up a week or a month or a year later and see where it is, what's happening with it. We don't do that. We let it go, but we water it. We let it germinate and grow, and we just feed it every day. And that's the consistency. The feeding the seed is the consistency and the discipline every day. Is that somebody that you want to be? Somebody who I wanted to be, because I sure as hell was not that person for the first, 35 years of my life. I was not me. On a road to nowhere, on a life to nowhere, living for what my friends did, had no identity to myself. You'd say, who is he? Well, I don't know. What is his friends doing? Then that's usually what he's doing. Yeah, no leadership skills, no inspiration. And then through really poor choices, started to get saddled with debt. And again, there by the grace of God that I have, 2 parents that are still alive that took me in. If I didn't, if they weren't alive, Lord knows where I would go, but they were. So we can get into that again more another day, but I know the feelings of despair. I know the feelings of fear. I know the feelings of anxiety and jealousy and anger. I know them because I lived them, but I dug myself out of them. But just by being in proximity, I had the good fortune of being in proximity to the right people to help me unlock the potential that I had, because there were times in that pit of despair when you just think like you're never going to get out of it. There's no way to get out. Who's hiring me? I don't have any skills. I don't have anything going for me. I'm an embarrassment to myself. I'm an embarrassment to my family. I'm an embarrassment to my friends. I'm an embarrassment to my creator who put me on this planet and gave me this body, this beautiful body that we have, that every one of you have. I was an embarrassment to all of that. And then I got in proximity to some good people who operated at a level that I never thought possible, that I never thought would even be near me or want to even, like, why would they even want to talk to me or deal with me or interact with me? I'm down here. There's zero, there's like mounds of crap, and then I'm below that. Why would somebody that's doing really well, in all facets of life want to, deal with me? But they did. You will find that most people that have a lot, are abundant and are affluent, want to share that affluence and abundance with the world. So, and I didn't know that until I met them. So, not to go off on a tangent, but I'd say that to say I understand if that's where you are. I get it. I was there, and there is a better way. It's just most in your mind. So I will say that, I'll help you if you're thinking about, joining the Elite Builders or just want to interact with me personally. I have no problem sharing my story with you, but I would love to help inspire you to get out of that pit that you're in, if you are in it, or you just really want to, get inspired to, you're an entrepreneur and you want to get your business moving, get it going, and you don't understand why it's not going where it's going. If you're an agent, look, we can help you. generate those leads, serve your clients, build your business. So you're building it to scale. Like, we can do it. So reach out to us. Reach out to me. Would love to hear from you. Are you ready? Are you ready to take your real estate career to a new high, like sky's the limit level? If you're answering yes, come, man. Be a part of us. Come join us. We'd love to help you. It's a few simple things repeated daily. Success leaves clues. It sure does. And I'm following those clues by different people and books that I'm reading and proximity and seminars and all of these things I'm doing. It leaves clues. So it's not just for other people and not for you. That's bullshit. It's not true. And it is for you too. You just need to maybe get out of your own way. That's what's true for me. I had to just get out of my own way, get out of these limiting beliefs, and then figure out a new way. So that's for you. I would love to hear from you. That's really all we're going to have as far as today's episode. What I'm going to do now is talk about the book that I had mentioned before. Man, do I love this book. The words can't describe how powerful and impactful this book has been to me in changing my mind and just getting out of my own way. Because I know and I'm aware that was my biggest issue, was my mindset and getting out of my own way. This book is called Taming Your Gremlin. It's written by Rick Carson, and one of the mentors that I train with actually trained under Rick Carson. Rick took him under his wing and trained him. And the power that lies in this book, really what we have, all of us as humans, we have an ego mind that tells us that we ain't shit. Nothing you're going to do is going to work. Why would you even try that? No one's going to like you. You're never going to be a success. You're always going to be at the bottom of the barrel. It tells us these crazy stories in our heads to scare us, really. I'll be alone and broken by myself, all these crazy things. And everybody's gremlin has this different brand of torture that works for you. And, your brand might not be mine and might not be someone else's, but we all have it. We all have these voices in our head that tell us that. What this book has done has helped me recognize when that voice is there, and then run through some exercises that you do every time it does, because the voice is never going to go away. So when it is there, a couple quick things that you can do to neutralize it so that it's basically rendered, meaningless and powerless. What it also does too, and this was a big, huge growth thing for me, was it taught me how to communicate effectively. What is communicating effectively to me? It is showing up fully and completely. It is accurately expressing what is true for you or true for me in each moment, and constructively working through conflict, because we're all going to have it. When you can do those three things effectively, show up fully. So when you're with somebody, you're present with them. You're showing up fully and completely. And then if you're having a conversation with them, you're just accurately expressing what's true for you in your heart of hearts. And you're expressing it in a very, very intentional and communicative way, a healthy way. And when there's conflict, you can constructively work through it using what we call responsible semantics. Okay? When you can do those three things, communication will not be a problem for you. Now, are we perfect at it? The answer is no. But these are things that I practice every day. What does practice make? Does not make perfect, but practice makes improvement. And when you are intentional with practicing these exercises from this book, Taming Your Gremlin, you will be able to improve your communication skills to serve yourself, your family and friends, your clients, and you have now raised your game and your level of consciousness in how to communicate. Taming Your Gremlin. So I'd say if you too have that, monkey mind in there telling you all these crazy negative things that aren't true about you, and instill fears in you that weren't there before, this is the perfect book for you to learn and read how to render that gremlin in your mind powerless. Okay? So let's get to living, not living in fear. Taming your gremlin. And then we'll do the Danism, and then I'll close. Yeah. All right, y'all. So we're almost done with the show for today. We will have one more thing. I know y'all waiting for it. It's so important. You guys are like waiting with bated breath for the Danism of the day. This one's something that was taught to me a while ago, and it's very true. Everything in longevity tends to get off course. So everything. And that's okay. So, we're being intentional with getting disciplined. So let's go over what we talked about today on the show. You're getting disciplined, and you're doing your a week in, 2 weeks in, and then something happens, and maybe you take a day and you didn't do it. You didn't prospect that day, or you didn't go to the gym that day, and then it starts to become a pattern. It's all it is like a train track, and the train got off course. And all you need to do is just get back on course. It's okay that I get off course. It's not something, I'm not immune to it. We're human beings. We're not perfect. Again, we're not perfect. So it's okay. That's what, people and seminars and songs and sayings and quotes and books are for. They will all help us get back on course. And for me, the biggest ones are songs and books. I read a ton. I'm like, I love reading because it has activated. And prior to, me, doing these things that are creating this higher level of consciousness, I wasn't reading. I didn't read. I probably read maybe a book in 20 years. I wasn't reading at all. Now I'm consistently reading 30 to 40 books a year and audibling. So, and practicing like NET time, NET time, which is no extra time. So if you're in the car, I'm reading. If I'm home, I'm reading. Like, I like to practice NET time because it lets me know that I've done everything that I can do in that day to be the highest and best version of myself that I can be. So it's okay that there's days when the train goes off the track. You just, learn those methods and those ways to get the train back on the course. And again, it's like books or seminars or people or songs or, all of these types of things can help you get back on course and more motivated to, do the things and be intentional with the goals that you have. So, what's true for me is I tend to get back on course with a combination of all of them, but the two main that I like to use most are books and songs. So everything in longevity tends to get off course. It's okay that it does. Just get yourself back on with certain things and activities that will get you back on that discipline track to get you where you want to be in life, which is the highest and best version of yourself. So I sincerely appreciate all of you who listen, who have enjoyed this podcast. I'd say the best way you can support this podcast is simply by subscribing. If you feel this podcast brings you value, you're looking to continue your education in life, you're looking to continue your education in real estate, strengthening that mindset, just getting disciplined and doing the activities daily that you know are going to make you a complete and utter success in life, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, then just click the subscribe button, comment on these videos that I send out, and what you would like to know more about, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you guys, for all of you, to inspire, to help, to share, to help create a leader. Because again, I was not any of those qualities before I had people in my life to help me unlock the potential that we all have. And I was so grateful to have them. So I'd love to see you on this journey and get on that journey. So if that's something that is talking to you, talking to your spirit and to your soul and to your mind and to your body, then I'm at Dan the Man Talks Real Estate. Instagram and TikTok, I'm at Daniel Mesrobian. Facebook, Daniel Mesrobian. Go ahead and follow us there. Reach out, message me, and again, tell me what you think. I love your feedback. I appreciate you all very much. Much love. Thank you. Until next time, be well and love your life.